BNI starts now.
Trevor has been in the insurance business for 22 years. He has seen and done many things over many different industries and has a very expansive career history that lends to his understanding of the insurable needs of many industries. Trevor will be married for 24 years this June. He has 3 lovely daughters. He enjoys golfing, hiking, and backyard fire pits. In general, he loves being outdoors. Trevor is a big music fan, and something you might not know is he is a poorly self-taught guitar player. So to learn more about Trevor, book a one-to-one with him. And with this, I will pass it on to Trevor.
Trevor Taylor with Mac Insurance Registry, and I sit in the commercial insurance seat here in our chapter. We have 3 office locations, although for the majority of our insurance staff right now, we've been working from home since last March. But we do have St. Albert, downtown, and south side. In our downtown and our south side offices, we also have registries there. St. Albert is insurance only. However, there's a lot of services you can do online and pick things up for registries in St. Albert. So my personal history, I was born in Edmonton. I moved out to Beaumont in 1979. I spent my childhood there, graduated from the high school out there, was actually the first class, not the first graduating class, but the year that the high school opened, we were there. I actually went there for grade 9 just to fill the school. I met my wife, Erin, in 1995, and we were married in 97. Like Kelly said, this year we'll be 24 years married. I have 3 daughters, Avery, who's 21, Emerson, who's 18, and Finley, who is 14. We've moved, I moved a lot when I was young, not anything to do necessarily with my father's career. It was just something that we did. We moved out to Mundare, then we moved back to Edmonton, finally out to Beaumont. And then once I was, married, we've moved, from Edmonton to St. Albert to Callahoo, 3 different places in Callahoo, finally out to Bruderheim, and now we're in Fort Saskatchewan. We've been in Fort Saskatchewan now for the last 8 years. And that's a picture of the family. Of course, I'm bringing down the looks with this mug of mine. So a little bit about my career history. I started my first business actually at 13, cutting grass for neighbors. And from there, I was hooked on making money and the ability to support myself. So I swept floors, did Dickie D ice cream, shoveled dirt, picked rocks, picked chickens, did some garbage pickup, restaurant waiter, all by the time I was 16. And then once I had my license, I was in the drywall industry, construction. I was a glass courier, shipper, receiver, and did some landscaping and horticulture with the Edmonton Public School Board. A few of the highlights, I guess, of the most interesting thing is I was an apiarist, so I did work at a bee farm, which was really interesting. I was also coming out of high school. I actually thought I was going to be a mechanic. I spent all of grade 10, 11, 12, I had full mechanics. So I actually had to go back for an extra half a year of high school just to get my English and math because I had filled my schedule with mechanics. And I actually rebuilt a 1971 GMC pickup truck during that time, but fell out of love with mechanics quickly after graduating. I went on actually to become a journeyman water well driller. So I did work in the oil field a little bit and then downsized to a smaller rig and became a full journeyman water well driller. Did that for 3 or 4 years and then things changed. I went and actually translated some of those skills into the oil patch again and was out working as a pipe fitter plumber. And in 98, 99, while they're working in Fort McMurray, my wife and I, we discussed starting to have a family. And so we wanted to have a career that, I would be home most evenings. She was actually in the insurance industry. Strange story. She's not been in the industry for a lot of years, but anyway, she was at that time. And so she had some contacts at the cooperators and I started with them in 99. And by 2003, I had my own agencies as full agent owner out in Andrew and Lamont. Then we actually sold that in June of 2012. So from there, I took a little bit of time off and, did some contracting and, finishing basements, building fences, that kind of stuff, just to stay busy and realized that I truly did love the insurance industry and I had to get back into it. So I started with Mac Insurance Registry in June of 2014. Why Mac Insurance and Registry? So, customer satisfaction and service is definitely our number one priority. We strive to commit to meet or exceed consumer expectations, when you compare us to the next broker. We are extremely professional, knowledgeable, and our team is, super courteous. We do have actually a lot of fantastic staff members who really know the industry in and out. And then we also have the ability for all insurance and registrations to be handled in one location, which when it comes to larger businesses with maybe a fleet of vehicles, that's super helpful because they don't have to go stand in line for hours just to find out they don't have the right paperwork and have to come back. So we can handle all of that through our account system. We're fully advanced. Technology has really helped us for online transactions. We really focused on the registry side, but we are now expanding into the insurance side. We trust our team, as I mentioned before, and we have some of the greatest partners that we can have, highest ranked insurance companies in Canada. And our core values include accountability and integrity. So why me? So we are the sum total of our experiences. That's a quote from BJ Neblett. I've had plenty of life work experiences, as you've seen, that do lend well to being a commercial insurance broker. It helps me to understand where some of these businesses are coming from, and I'm able to even understand some of the terminology that's used, which I think does give me a bit of an advantage over the next broker or somebody who maybe doesn't have as much life and work experience as I do. I always put my client's best interest first. I work hard to honor my personal guiding principles of respect, ethics, and honesty. I will absolutely walk away from an opportunity rather than betray my personal morals. It's happened numerous times throughout my career, but I've never been dissatisfied with those decisions. So a little bit about commercial insurance itself. These are just some of the key coverages. Good Lord, I could bore you guys to death if we really wanted to get into the nuts and bolts of it, but some of the key coverages, business interruption. So this is a portion of the policy that pays the business revenue while you're rebuilding and getting back on your feet after a claim. This actually, Stephanie reached out to me not long ago. If you guys remember that large fire in Sherwood Park at the mall, and Kaylee Boutique was one of the businesses that burnt down. And so Stephanie had reached out to me on a Saturday, just inquiring about what are some of the things that her friend who owns the boutique should be looking for. And business interruption was one of the things that I pointed out. Because it does provide income so you can do things such as retain your staff. If you've got key staff and all of a sudden it's going to take a year to rebuild, are they going to wait around for a year without being paid? I don't think so. Installation floater is another one specifically for contractors. So this is for, I'm going to use Soul Mechanical as a prime example. So, Jeremy has maybe a furnace or an air conditioning unit that he's going to install at a client's home. Until that unit is actually on site and installed, it's actually the contractor that still is in care, custody, and control, and therefore responsible for that. So if they don't have an installation floater, and maybe he's in an accident, or maybe it's not strapped down properly and the thing flies out the back of his truck, he would be on the hook for that. So the installation floater is a key coverage for contractors in particular. And then there's, of course, the liability side of things. Liability comes in a couple of different forms. There's your commercial general liability, but also some businesses require errors and omissions coverage as well. And it is surprising, in particular, if I think of the automotive industry, if you have a mechanic shop that, say, offers inspections, vehicle inspections, they're covered under their general liability for all their shop activities. Somebody slips and falls, that sort of thing. But when it comes to giving their professional advice and signing off on a vehicle inspection, it's the E&O, it's the errors and omissions that would protect them if they made an error in providing a vehicle inspection. So, I don't get too concerned with that if it's a small part of the business, but if it's a larger part of an automotive shop, then definitely they should be looking at errors and omissions coverage as well. Co-insurance, this, everybody always asks about co-insurance. What is it and why? So I'm going to make it real simple. If you have something that's worth $100,000, the insurance companies say you need to insure it to at least 90% of that. So you need to insure for at least 90,000 in order to have full coverage. And why is that? Well, unfortunately, there's people out there that look to take advantage of certain situations. And what's to stop me if I have a $100,000 building? I'll say it's worth 50,000. So I'm paying premiums on a $50,000 building when I know full well it's worth twice that, hoping that the insurance company will pay that out. So that's the reason that they do it. They want to make sure that everything is according to what it should be. And they do allow that 10% buffer because not everybody, you're not always going to be on top of things. Markets change, cost of lumber, all of that stuff. So that's what co-insurance is. I know it's a brief explanation, but hit me up for one-to-ones if you want to learn more. So referrals, when it comes to referrals, here's a list: exterior contractors, landscapers, grading, excavation, interior contractors, electricians, drywall, flooring, plumbing, and painting, any residential, commercial renovations, hair salons, beauty parlors, restaurants, building owners. As you can see, it's quite a list of varying businesses. So I always say, you know what, I'll look at almost anything. And if I can help, then great. If not, I do have a lot of referral partners who are also in the insurance industry within BNI, many of them actually, that we can team up and try and collaborate to find a solution for a business that may be tough. And that's good. Thanks, Cassie. Yeah. So really, that's it. I didn't want to take a whole bunch of time today because I know that we're a little bit behind. So thank you for listening. And with that, thank you, BNI Apex. I have a question. Does anybody know who came up with that chapter name? Me. Thank you.
BNI starts now. Like everyone says it.
Are we all saying it? I'm confused.
What is it now?
Do we all say BNI? Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
Starts meow.
Now.
Do you want us to
say
say
it.
BNI?
Say it more casually. Like we're not trying to rehearse the most impossible phrase in the world.
Now.
Now.
BNI
starts now.
BNI
Starts now. What was the best one yet?